Shalom, family. I hope everybody can hear me better. We're going to give it a few minutes for more people to come in and then we'll get started. There's a reason why I won't be able to do the Bible study today, and I will explain that to you. I hope everybody is doing well. Today is pretty cloudy where I am. It doesn't seem to be very much going on as far as people being out. In fact, it's very quiet around here today. Uh, Devin S., what happened with Brother L? Can you just tell me a little more? Ice storm where you are, Brandy? Oh, okay. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm hoping that we'll just wait and give it a few more minutes and then we'll get started. So, we won't be able to do the Bible study today, but if we can all agree, perhaps tomorrow we can do something. I am open to doing something tomorrow if people are available. Shalom, family. Shalom to everybody. Oh, boy. Did something happen to Brother L in order for the Bible study to get canceled? No, 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 no. Devin, no, it has nothing to do with him. No, I will explain everything. It has absolutely nothing to do with him. Okay, family. It's usually not that many of us doing this anyway. Is I guess it's just like it says in the Bible, a remnant, right? All right, y'all. Okay, today my aunt, who I'm looking after, when I spoke to her, she was like very congested. So her doctor is one of those doctors that do home visits. He visited with her and determined that she got COVID. And it's kind of a crazy thing because you're talking about a person that has dementia and has COVID, and she got heart issues. So she's on something. And if some of you have gone through hospice with your family, then you know what this is. She's going into something called respite. And that is like a little, I guess it's like a watered down nursing home. It's a small facility. And I'm kind of glad she's going there because it's one that my mother went to. It's only about maybe 2 miles away from where I live. And I can tell you, this place did great with my mother. My mother had heart disease, and when she would get the flu, she would have to be hospitalized. Well, a couple of times she had to go into respite, and most of the nurses in there were Black. And I'm telling you, when my mother walked out of that place, y'all, she could breathe, she looked healthy, she was stronger on her feet. They did a great job with her. I was very satisfied every time the few times she went there, she always came out a lot better than when she went in there. So that's where she's going. I'm kind of glad because I can drive over there and check and see how she's doing. And, and when her time to check out comes, I can go around there and get her because she's so close to where I live. So that's where she's being sent. I have to go over there and make sure her house is locked up and, make sure I have her purse and, certain things that she's going to need. So, because I have to do that, I'm not going to be able to do the Bible study. If many of you are willing, I can reschedule it for tomorrow. Okay. So if you're not in objection, to doing it tomorrow, then we can just do it tomorrow. So, um, I also had a relative, I think Saturday, I spoke to them and they had the sniffles. They died yesterday. My cousin passed, and it went just really fast. I just remember having that conversation on the phone, and they just had sniffles. That's it. "Oh, I think I'm coming down with something." And I was like, you got to take some time and take care of yourself. And look how fast it happened from Saturday. Okay. You know, no, I'm sorry, from Thursday. Thursday is the day I spoke to her. I'm sorry. Thursday and Saturday, she was gone. Saturday, the sniffles. I mean, so don't take anything for granted, y'all. I'm concerned about several people that I have listened to on video. We got a lot of Hebrew brothers and sisters right now that sound very congested when I'm watching their videos. It's several people. And look, YouTube is going to be here whether your ass is dead or alive. Some of y'all need to get off of these videos. And I know I'm guilty of this too. Some of y'all need to get off of these videos and take care of yourselves, because y'all don't know how serious the effects of Omicron is. So, I mean, I know you want to just do certain things and just keep on your merry way, but you really shouldn't do that. Some of y'all just consider getting off of these videos and coming back when you're well. Please do that. That's what you really need to consider doing. It is really, it's not going to be any good if you're gone. And people are going pretty fast. And yes, I did see the video that Wrapped the News, his wife put out several hours ago. He has passed. And, it's really a shame. He's another one. If you go back and listen to that last video he put out, you can clearly hear in his voice he was not feeling well. And then he put out a video with all text, without him talking. So you knew something was going on that was not good. And I think as YouTube creators, we don't have the ability to try to sit down and do what's right for yourself. Sometimes, believe it or not, your subscribers is going to understand that you have to look after yourself. I don't think anybody's that unreasonable out here. So, I'm not going to name names, but there are several people I'm really concerned about that I have listened to over these past several days. So, y'all, that's all I really wanted to say. We are in some really uncharted water right now. And I know we don't always get along, but I hope when it comes down to many people being sick, we can push all of those issues aside and just be there for one another. I know that's not always possible, but if it is, that's what I'm hoping we can do. Thank you, CH464, for the super sticker. And if you have to check off for a little while, I mean, it doesn't mean that you don't love the Most High. It doesn't mean that anything changed. Your faith is still there and it's still strong. Nobody's going to feel any different. And I don't only expect that from YouTube creators, but subscribers too. If you are not feeling well, just take some time and look after you. Unfortunately, in these last days, we are going to have casualties. We are. It's going to blow your mind who is going to be checking out of here. Look, I mean, how many of us thought Rap the News, this would even happen to him if we were listening a month ago? Nobody would have thought, okay, this man sounds healthy. He sounds healthy and strong. And look at what happened. I mean, there's people I don't agree with, but look, I still would not want you to go in that manner, but we don't have no choice in that. It was a reason why the Most High took him out the way that he did. Promise to us. All we can do is get through this the best that we can. But I do pray for his family. I pray the Most High give them the strength that they need to get through this whole thing. It is never easy. When is there a right time for you to lose your loved one? There's never a right time. Never. Never. Yeah, Mr. Pirate Brain, they said that's what Omicron does to you. The symptoms are mild, but the damage it does is great, from what I understand. So, heart problems, that's a big part of it. And it's scary. It's scary because, it's one of those things you don't know who's going to get hit and you don't know how a person is going to react when they get hit with it. You just don't know. So everybody just hang in there. You know, um, if if you got bad eating habits, try to turn that around and get into a better way of eating and living because this is when it's really critical. Mhm. Mhm. No, for the people that just came in, we were just briefly talking about Rap the News. He has passed away. That's who we're talking about. Yeah, well, I mean, what can I say? CH4 some of my family, they're doing great, and I got some sick relatives too. I got some that are ailing. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't listen to the whole video of his wife talking about us could only get through so much, and not very much you can do except for pray and hope that the family gets through it. And from what I understand, he was not the only one that was sick. I think she said the mother-in-law and their son was also sick. Mhm. No, dark-skinned brother, it was only she was only playing around, True Royal. I think, some people just took it the wrong way, and that's ultimately what happened. I mean, sometimes those things are gonna happen. We're gonna joke around, we're gonna laugh, but Everything can't be somber and bleak. I mean, just like when I do videos, some of the videos are going to be of serious nature and some will just kind of be fun videos. It can't be all bad all the time. You got to throw something else in there every. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, look, the Most High is the only one in charge of the whole thing. At the end of the day, and the Most High is in charge of everything. Yeah, Jet Black, Rap the News has been out here for a long time. In fact, when I first came on to YouTube, I think he was on even back then. He's been on for he's been on a lot longer than I have been. I actually came on the scene and around, with my channel and doing videos in 2016. Now, the channel that I'm on now, I've had this one since 2017. My first channel I lost. I didn't have sense enough to fight for it like I have this one. This time around is a whole different game. I'm willing to go into court and fight for my right to speak the way that I want to. I mean, this is BS where one group of people have freedom of speech and everybody else that's living here in America don't. Are you kidding me? Oh, hell no. No, I'm not settling for that. So anytime they try to silence me, I'm going to court, plain and simple. I'm going to court. You know, I think these double standards got to go, and they're not going to go unless we fight it. And unfortunately, still the majority of Black YouTubers, if their channel goes down, they just run off and start another channel instead of saying, no, 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 I'm going to fight this. Unfortunately, they talk a lot, but they have no backbone at the end of the day. It's like you're just talking and talking, but see, that's how it's been in this country for a long time. Oh, I got freedom of speech. I can say what I want. I can do what that's a freedom of expression. But as soon as you exercise freedom of expression, they want to shut you down. Uh-uh. No, 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 no. It's time. It's long overdue for the double standards to end. And the good side is courts, when they listen to the kind of things they're trying to shut you down over, more than likely you'll get your channel back. See, what they don't see, the problem with these folks, they go by what they feel. So if they feel like they don't like what you said and they feel like it's hate speech, that's all it is. But see, when you walk into court and the court, what your video was about and what you said, they don't agree. They don't agree. And if our people just understand one thing about court, see, they got criminal court all rigged up against us. Believe it or not, Black men and women that go to civil court, these lawsuits where maybe there's discrimination on the job, that's civil court. Black people do extremely well in civil court. We do. Start looking at some of the cases where especially employment, where there's a racism on the job, or a Black man or woman is enduring nooses, or they're writing racist things and leaving racist notes, they usually win those cases. See, before it was like, well, you can't prove that that's racist. Now there's cameras everywhere, and these people are getting caught in the act. And even cops are getting caught doing things. It was a funeral home And I believe it was the funeral home that had I gotta go back and look. It it had I believe it was the funeral home director, all of them pissing on the side of his building and everything on camera, and he was able to file a civil suit against those cops. See, that's where we do well. And just knowing that we do so much better in civil court, why not take advantage of that? Seriously, we got to stop being afraid and just step up and fight a lot of these things that are going on. You'd be surprised that how many people will prevail, you know, in things where these folks will clearly tell you, "Oh, you don't have a case." That's only because they don't want you to sue. That's the only reason why they're telling you that. They don't want you to do anything against them, or they're trying to psychologically make you believe you can't accomplish something. I never pay attention to that crap, and you shouldn't either. Mhm. Yeah. I mean, look, you can't change anything unless you try. Me, I rather give it a good fight and lose than not fight at all. That's the way I see it. I can even respect you even if you lost, at least you tried. You didn't sit and just take the crap, you know? But there are many out here, either they don't know or they just simply they don't try. It's terrible being a victim of any type of abuse on a job. Yeah, I mean, America, this is why you don't have people flocking out to these jobs. Many of these employers have mistreated people and underpay people for decades in this country. And like I said, whenever you see these stories about the labor shortage, start looking in the comment section. You will be astonished at how many people are talking about how crappy their jobs are, how lousy their bosses are, how their employers don't care about them, or their employers underpay them and they got a manager that's talking to them like they're not even human. It's not just black men and women. Now, black men and women are the ones that want to continue to work at home because now you're not sitting there and enduring the racism every day. And that's what they're trying to get away from. So I was looking at a survey and it was in the economy, the magazine, and it was saying only 3% of black men and women want to go back to the office. 97% of black men and women that are working remotely want to stay that way. They don't want to go back to the office at all. They don't even want a hybrid schedule where they go in for a few days and work at home for a few days. They just want all 100% remote because they're not dealing with the politics, the racism, somebody doubting. You don't have to deal with none of that. And I think the survey said 21% of white workers want to return back to the office. So more of them want to go back than black employers. Thank you, Black Mama, for the super chat. You said last year employer had to pay me 10K extra after I fought. This year I fought to get black coworkers paid extra 10K and they did. So now they are retaliating, bring it. Yeah, there you go. No matter what, you're smart. So just make sure you record and document everything that they try to do to you. They're actually very easy to go after as long as you have some good documentation and you got proof and you got receipts and everything. You can easily defeat them in a civil suit. Easy, very easy. Yeah, and the interesting thing is that was a very exact thing from all of the black workers. The number one thing was avoiding the office racism. Isn't that something? That was consistent all the way across the board in the survey, and I don't blame them. You know, I have seen your stories whenever I do those videos. I've even seen some of your posts of the things you have gone through in the office, and boy, I can relate. See, the reason why they always see, you know how it was for me when I first went in the company, they will always start out liking me. But then when they would realize I was the kind of black employee that would fight them back, then you know how it is. Then they try to take down your character. I didn't let them do that to me. I would fight them back. So it was funny because by the time I left, the people at the top had issues with me. But my group, I had a group of 24 people that I managed. We got along great. They all loved me. All of them loved me. So the people that were employees that reported to me, they all loved me. But the ones at the top that I challenged and fought back, oh yeah, they had issues with me. I didn't care. I didn't care. But I knew one thing, I wasn't going to go there and sit and be somebody's doormat. And that's just the way it is. But I realized you gotta kind of use discernment wherever you are. You know, some places you may be reluctant to speak out because they're sending out those vibes. And, not only that, another thing that's big that employers do, some of them will try to make you feel like you're expendable. You give me enough trouble, I'll just throw you on out the door and get somebody else. And see, that's another reason why they're having a hard time getting people, because they do that a lot, even with their own people. They make them feel like you're expendable. So I'm your boss. I might be a shitty boss, but I'm your boss and you're going to do what I say. Right. And at some point in time, you're always going to get sick of a person like that. Somewhere along the line, somebody's going to snap on that person that's like that. And every time I go out there looking at the labor shortage, I always see just that in the comment section. I got a horrible boss. My boss undervalues me. I work my butt off and they act like it's nothing, that I'm working hours, extra hours, and I'm working my behind off. They don't have my back and nothing, so people are feeling that way. And you got to ask yourself, why are so many people unhappy with their jobs in America? Why? Look at who's in charge. Look at how they came into this country. Have they ever stopped being that way? No. No, they don't see nothing wrong with the way they act. They think it's you, not them. They do. But see, I think it's hard for them to face the reality that they're just not likable people and folks don't want to work for them. Well, I mean, seriously, you want to break your ass for a bunch of ungrateful people that look at you as somebody that's expendable? I will just kick you to the curb and get someone else. Who the hell wants to work their ass off for somebody? Nobody. They're going to have a hard time all through 2022 getting all of these people out here working again. Mhm. Yeah, they're not going to change. They're not going to change their behavior. They're not. They're going to keep right on. They're going to keep right on doing what they do. And, nothing's going to change. Sharjay, thank you so much for the super chat. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. I'm known to quit good jobs and get another one. I know my worth. And as Israel does, I've helped build companies. Amen. There you go. There you go. But you know what, y'all? If you've gone through this and you had to switch jobs because of bosses and some old nasty ass employees, that's part of the curse. That's also telling you who you are. You know? No, you're not going to get along with these Gentiles all the time. You're not, very few of them. And I can tell you from all the years I was out there working, I probably can count on one hand how many Gentiles I really got along with well on the job. There was always maybe one or two that were okay. And then the rest of them, boy, if I didn't have to look at them again, I wouldn't be upset about nothing. Well, see, exquisite coils, that is the problem in this country. People are now seeing the pay in America. America, the richest, strongest country in the world, right? Are we do, but the pan has exposed it to the point where it's undeniable. You may say, okay, look, they don't pay the immigrants nothing, but shit, they ain't even paying the people that were born and raised here nothing. Like, look at the mindset these folks came in here with, and they still got it. They want something for nothing, or they want you to do backbreaking work while they throw just this ridiculously low money that you can't even pay your rent on. And they got the nerve and audacity to believe they're paying you well. And they're not. They're not. And the terrible pay in America is just attributed to nothing but greed. This is nothing but straight up greed. In all the decades people have been working in America, the pay could have at least keep up with the cost of living. The pay has never kept up with the cost of living. Never. Never. And look at what they're doing now. Oh, we'll give you $1 more an hour. But what good is that with the inflation? Do you see how bad the inflation is out here? What is $1 more going to do at this point in time? It's not going to do a thing. You got to look at everything. You got to commute back and forth to work, even if you're paying for the train or bus. That shit adds up. And and the gas is ridiculous. And see, they're going to use the pandemic to keep the gas prices up. They're going to use the pandemic to keep the food prices up. They're going to use the pandemic to increase and it's even bad even with your the medical industry. I just read an article, y'all. I don't know if any of you caught this. Doctors are not allowed, are no longer going to be allowed. I think as of today, they're not going to be allowed to give you surprise bills anymore. I know that used to happen to me a lot. I had insurance through my job. And every time I would go to this I don't go to this doctor no more. I have since long switched doctors, probably more than 12 years ago. Every time I would go in this doctor's office, they had a new bill for me. And I was like, wait a minute, I got medical insurance. I shouldn't have to pay you nothing. Oh no, this bill is from it'll be like 2008. Oh no, this bill is from 2006. I was like, I was working and had insurance. How do I have a bill? So every time I would go in there, they would find some different bill that wasn't paid. And like I said, I had full medical insurance. I didn't even have to pay for my prescriptions. I got my prescriptions for free. But I'll be damned if every time I got so sick of them, I switched doctors. Um, I have never experienced that. You know, my insurance covers everything. I have never had an issue with these surprise bills coming up anymore. I got sick of them. I had to get away from them fools, you know? I didn't, the doctor was pretty nice. You know, I was going to him. In fact, that doctor's office, I was going to them since I was in my 20s. I was going to them for a long, long time. But when they start that surprise bill stuff, I just stopped going to them because I was like, I can't believe I got all of these unpaid bills and I got medical insurance and I'm gainfully employed. So I don't know what was going on, but they now got a bill out that is supposed to stop doctors from giving patients surprise bills. So they can't do that mess anymore. Oh, Miss Smith, there's a bill that you didn't pay from 2019. See, they can't do that stuff no more. And I'm kind of glad they are putting a stop to that. Hmm. Yeah, dark skinned brother too. I believe you. They are trying to get money out of you, you know. And like I said, I used to always ask the nurse, I was like, how can I owe when I had insurance? Oh, I don't know, ma'am. It's just saying that this bill never got paid. I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. Boy, that's all this place does. And you can you imagine what the inflation's going to be like as we get further and further into this year? It's going to be ridiculous, y'all. All right, y'all. I think I babbled long enough. Y'all take care of yourselves, and I really truly mean that. Please take care of yourselves and take care of your children because a lot of children are being hospitalized in this country. Do not take the fact that they got their youth on their side that they're going to be okay. That is not necessarily true. Children must also keep their immunity up. So, y'all, maybe I will go ahead and arrange for us to do Bible tomorrow. And, I'll try to see, I'll try to set something up today. That way you'll have advance time and perhaps I'll do it early in the afternoon, maybe like around 1:30, and then we can do probably about a good hour. Okay, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong. Shalom, family.